Are people who accept the Christian faith just simply making a blind leap of faith? Or are there reasons to think that Christianity is true? I'm joined today by George Haraksin, who is a philosopher and a Christian, to help answer that question. George, as a philosopher, what do you find to be the most compelling reasons for the Christian faith?
Mm-hmm. I like the word there, compelling, and you're asking me personally. When something's compelling, it has this powerful effect on you, kind of this irresistible effect. It pulls you in, it draws you in like gravity. And so some of the most compelling reasons that give me confidence in the Christian faith, I would put it this way: it's a changed life, a resurrected life, and the origin of life. So just quickly, there's something powerful about witnessing and engaging someone whose life has been powerfully changed. I would say it's happened to me personally, but also seeing it happen in other people. When you see an effect happen, you ask the question, well, what caused that effect? And for me, many times, and this goes broadly to religious experience, but specifically the claims of Christianity, that not only did God come to earth in Jesus in human form, but lived, died, and was resurrected. But that claim, which I'll get to in a moment, part of that claim is that God currently comes into people's lives and radically changes them. Now that can be over a course of time. It could be, in an instance. But that power of a changed life, I think, just speaks volumes to people, and it does to me. I always go back to the story, Victor Hugo's book of Les Miserables, and when the bishop, if you remember the story, the bishop, when Jean comes back and he has stolen the silverware, and the bishop says, "What?" He tells the soldiers, "What? Yeah, I gave him these," and he says, "But you didn't take the candlesticks." And he hands them the candlesticks, and he says, "Take these two. You can get 200 francs for them." And he sends away the soldiers, and they let him go, and he's just astonished. And he says, and he looks at him with these piercing eyes, and he says, "From this moment on, I have bought your soul. You need to live a changed life. You're going to be a force for good." Mm-hmm. And he goes on to live a changed life, not a perfect life, but a changed life. And Hugo arguably based those characters off people he knew. And a changed life is a powerful thing.
And what's interesting is that the change is always in a positive way. As a Christian, I've never met anybody who's become a Christian and is a worse person.
It's challenging. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's an interesting thought in there. I think what happens is, it's for the good. And then also, as Christians, we find out, we have these other areas, pockets of sin and evil that we become aware of, right? And that we ask God to work on with us. But, minds bring order to things. And the Christian claim is that God changes things for the good. He restores goodness into people. And so I think a changed life is a part of that. But then looking at what's compelling for me is looking into the historical evidence for the resurrection of Jesus has been very, very compelling as probabilistic historical evidence to back up some of those religious claims. Because there are lots of religious experiences in the world that are claimed. But there's some anchor into the resurrection of Jesus. And also for me, looking at the origin of life, how do we go from non-life to ordered life, organic life? And of course, this is an area that you work on regularly. What is the cause of that? Is it naturalistic causes? Is it a mind behind that? And I think there's compelling reasons to think there's a mind behind that. And also the existence of a life-permitting universe. We now know that non-permitting life universes are much more probable than life-permitting universes. So why did we get a life-permitting universe? And there are many good Christian philosophers and scientists who are working on that issue. And that has become a very compelling reason that gives me confidence in the Christian view of the world.